In this video, I'm going to show you 2 easy ways to prove that you are recovering from DPDR. If you're doing one of these things or both of these things, it is undeniable proof that you are in fact recovering. And the reason this is so important is because when you are going through recovery, because sometimes it can be such an up and down journey, it's actually difficult to know if you are recovering or not. But once you know these 2 ways, you are going to know for sure that you are recovering. If you are new to my channel, then welcome. My name is Dan and I help people recover from DPDR and anxiety using one-on-one coaching or the Freedom Course. I get asked the question of, am I recovering, or does this mean I'm recovering, a lot in my YouTube comments and also when I'm working with people one-on-one. And it's a really important question to get your head around at the beginning, because once you know the answer to it, then you can just forget about it, and then that's going to clear up a lot of space in your mind to work on other things to help you progress with your recovery. The first way to know that you are recovering is to notice that things that used to make you anxious aren't making you anxious anymore, or the anxiety around them has greatly reduced. And the reason that this is so important is because anxiety is the cause of the DPDR and all the other symptoms that you're getting. So if your anxiety is coming down, then that is a good thing. And one of the ways to know that your anxiety is coming down is certain events, certain thoughts, certain things that used to make you anxious aren't really making you anxious anymore. For me, one of the things that used to make me really anxious was just the thought of drinking coffee. Not even drinking it, just the thought of drinking it would almost, set my heart racing, and I'd really start to worry, and that would make my symptoms a lot worse. Eventually, over a little bit of time, it wasn't really the thought of having it, but it was the actual drinking of it. So I'd be able to think about having coffee completely fine, but if I drank it, I'd sort of notice that, sort of caffeine hit me, and I'd be all anxious about that. And then eventually it got to a point where even drinking coffee was completely fine. I could still feel that sort of caffeine hit that I'd get, but it didn't bother me at all. And, to the point where I could just have 5 cups of coffee a day and I wouldn't even think about it at all. I'd just have them. So with you, think about thoughts or situations that used to make you anxious that maybe they don't actually make you anxious anymore, or the anxiety has greatly diminished. If you're experiencing that, then that is a sign that you are recovering. The next big surefire way to know that you are recovering is that you're just starting to sort of transition from thinking about everything in your life to do with recovery more towards thinking about everything in your life as just stuff in your life. Because I know that when you are going through DPDR and anxiety, I experience this and I get a lot of questions about this too, is things like, does this help with DPDR? Does this make DPDR worse? Should I do this to help my recovery? Should I not do this? Everything is about recovery. Everything that you're thinking and doing and how you're planning everything, it's all going through that filter of, is this going to help with my recovery? And so if you're starting to think about that less and less, if you're just going out and doing stuff just because you want to go out and do stuff, then that's a sign you're recovering. If you're doing exercise just because you like it and you like doing exercise, that's a sign that you are recovering. You're slowly taking everything away from my life has to be 100% about recovery, just to I'm just living my life how I want to live it. It's also worth mentioning here that you might be a little bit confused, because you might be thinking, well, look, I do want to recover, so I can't just pretend like I don't want to recover. I can't pretend like all this stuff, I'm doing it for recovery, because recovery is where I want to get to. It's where I want to reach. And I completely understand that. The reason that it's going through your mind so strong at the moment is because you haven't gotten to a stage yet where you either believe you're on the right path, or you've gotten enough results to actually know and internalize, yes, I am actually recovering. You're still trying to grasp at everything, and you're still trying to find that miracle cure or that one secret that's going to help. And you're still thinking about recovery. But as you do genuinely start to recover, you think about this stuff less and less and less. And I remember when I was going through my recovery, everything was about recovery. Everything I did, everything I thought about, is this good for it? Is this bad for it? Should I do this? Should I not do this? And once I sort of just said, look, I can't militarize my life to that extent where I have to just be so analytical about everything that I'm doing. Once I just sort of said to myself, well, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's good for my recovery, maybe it's not. I don't really care, but I want to have a coffee because I feel like a coffee right now. So whether it makes me completely anxious or not, I don't care because I'm going to have a coffee. If you can sort of come at it with that attitude, then it shows that you're doing stuff because you genuinely want to do it, regardless of how you feel. And that's a sign that you're recovering. And that is also one of the big secrets, so to speak, to recovery, which is just getting on with your life, regardless of how you actually feel. Because if you change stuff, if you add stuff, if you take away stuff, if you avoid stuff because you're worried about it affecting your recovery, then what you're doing is you're telling anxiety that, yes, anxiety is really important and you're really important and I want you to be a part of my life and I want you to dictate everything that I do. That's not how you get out of it. You're making anxiety stronger there. The way that you get out of it and proof that you are recovering is to do stuff despite how you feel. So if you would normally go out for a run or go for a party or have a beer or have a coffee or do whatever it is before all this started, and you want to do it, then go ahead and do it. And then that way you're telling your mind and you're telling yourself, actually, I want to do this because I want to do this. Anxiety shouldn't be seen as important. It doesn't matter. I am going to do this because I want to do this. And also the added bonus there is that you start to experience that everything is kind of okay. Those weird, what if, jumping to the worst case scenario questions, they never come true, and then you're experiencing that. So you're sort of teaching yourself that, actually everything is okay. All right, I can actually do this. And that's a big part of it. So if you are experiencing one or two of these things, then you are 100% on the road to recovery. And that's a really amazing thing. Complete kudos to you. You are awesome and you're doing a really good job. So keep at it. And I know that recovery can seem quite daunting and it can seem like it's a minefield and you're not quite sure what to do and all that type of stuff. So if you do need help and you want to chat to me about your recovery, maybe you've plateaued, maybe you want to speed it up, maybe you want to fill in all the gaps that that you've got, then book a free call with me. Let's have a chat about exactly what's going on with you and get you to that 100% recovery. If you do want to book a free call with me, then the link's in a pinned comment and also in the description. I really look forward to chatting with you, and until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.